I actually love sitcoms, old TV shows. Did you know you can grow vegetables in your own yard? Anyway, I think my cup's leaking. I I do love sitcoms. Most of the videos I've posted in this channel have had some subtle or not so subtle references to some of the sitcoms that I really enjoy. And sitcoms, they have a long, proud tradition of doing something when the budget runs low, or they run out of ideas, or they just need a break. We're going to use these in a minute. What I'm talking about is known as the clip show. A clip show is this thing that sitcoms use to reflect back on all of the things they've done from the start of the series until now. The characters sit around and remember stuff they've already done. Anyway, today I will honor that noble TV tradition, and I'm going to make my own clip show of some of the videos we've made so far. That's why I've got all the hats sitting here. Mostly, I wanted to do a couple of things. I'm going to make a little breakfast casserole. I'm going to actually pan fry a honey bun in butter because this is America. Also, I think I'd eat my own foot if it was wrapped in bacon and cooked in butter. That's a sitcom reference, by the way. One of my favorites.
Eyes are getting weary. My back is getting tight.
So we're gonna go take a trip down memory lane. We're gonna look at some of the old hats, some of the old things we've done. I think we'll do a little cooking on the way. Where's my big bowl? I'm just gonna warn you right now, this video contains about 90% rehashed content. Content you've already seen if you've watched my videos. I'm doing that because I don't think you were paying attention good enough the first time. So we're gonna try again. So let's roll a few clips while we get ready here. By the way, I got sunburned. Sweat in my eyes. Will you hold my phone while I take my pants off?
If they're even at all lines, it doesn't make any sense. If I was doing outtakes, this would be that.
It's kind of, check to make sure, okay. Ooh, I love cinnamon rolls.
I know.
I had to walk. I didn't want to. Usually, when your show is kind of popular, that's when you do the clip show. If your sitcom isn't really popular to start with, then nobody cares to see reruns of it. But when you're doing a good show, people do want to see reruns. That's not the case here at the Boredom Project. We are not popular. If you look back through the videos, I'm only getting tens of views, which is fine. I don't care about that. But the real reason I'm doing this clip show is because my schedule didn't allow me to get out there and do some kind of fantastical adventure. So I'm doing a clip show. And like I mentioned previously, you guys weren't paying good enough attention the first time. So we got to do it again. And let's be honest, I've worn a lot of hats and they deserve a moment. Like this one here. I'm learning education. It was a fun hat. And I also wore it in the video that kicked off this series. It was an attempt at a spoof of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Not a sitcom, I recognize that. I mean, I have read a book before, but it was a good movie, and that was the start of this channel. Steve, he's bored. My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid who goes with the girl who saw him snorkeling in Hawaii. I guess it's pretty serious. Thank you. No problem whatsoever. Something DOO economics. Voodoo economics. What I learned from that, trying to make that video, is it is harder than I thought to make a recreation or like a spoof of a movie and make it good. In my mind, that video, the introduction video, looked so good. And then when I made it, it was just kind of meh, you know? It was just okay. Remember this hat? Yeah, I do too. It was a good one. I got this one as part of my indoor triathlon that I did. That was sure a lot of fun, making that video and also doing the triathlon. Take a look at some highlights. How much good they did me in the pool this morning. In order of preference, it goes run outside, run indoors on a track, run on the treadmill, and then way down here where you can't see, don't run at all.
All done. One triathlon down. Oh, thank goodness.
Maybe the main thing that I learned from that whole experience is, and learned isn't the right answer. I was reminded of the fact that I just can't breathe underwater. I mean, I certainly gave it a try, not on purpose, but I can't breathe underwater. But the triathlon was fun. I will probably do that again once the weather turns cold. I can't believe I made a video wherein I read a book. I read a children's book and put it on as a YouTube video. What's funny about that is for a little while it was my most viewed video. Who knows why? Who knows why anybody would watch me read a book? Just because we can, let's take a look at me reading a book. Make a suggestion for me. So we're going to work on that today. It's called The Most Boring Book Ever. And yeah, we're going to read it. We're going to read this book.
You read, you eat, you read, you go shopping, you read. You read on the show.
Invites readers to question the reliability of narration and emphasizes the power of visual storytelling. The thing maybe that I learned the most from that video was I learned how to read. I'm just kidding. I learned how to read 4 or 5 years ago. Oh yeah, look at this. Lawn enforcement agent. Remember when I made you guys watch me cut the grass in my own yard? And it was this clever idea that I was like some kind of a police officer, and I had these crimes I was trying to fix. Stuff like the grass was too long, or you know, I had to trim the edges or whatever. And of course the weed eater was broken. You guys remember that? I sure do. Feels good to be done.
Negative K, nothing further, just see the cabbie on the corner.
And so the sun sets on another boring project. The main thing I learned from that was how to do the $5 job. It's said that the $5 job is virtually impossible. Well, if you watch that video, you'll see that I've done it. And that's one of those if you know, you know sort of situations. Oh yeah, this was a fun one. Took my boys fishing in a little reservoir in Idaho. Stayed overnight in a little cabin. Caught a bunch of trout. Man, it was fun. That was a good trip. Take a look.
Sometimes you wanna go wherever.
This is the view from the front porch of the cabin. Me llamo ketchup. There's meat and cheese. Well, you can't go wrong with meat and cheese.
Come on. As soon as he stops. There. Pulling on his face.
Show the not buddy part. Nice catch.
Look at that. Oh, yeah.
I've already got the tinfoil tray out there. I'm just going to do 4 at a time here. The first 4 came out great.
Little problem here. Those are overdone and got a nice fireball going. Dang it. What do you call these? Blunders?
What I learned on that trip is that Idaho trout are easy to catch and they are easy to burn. This right here, one of the more fancy hats because it's got this little rope along there that makes it really cool. And let's be honest, the underside of the bill, fantastic. This one was from when I hiked the Y, get some bill power going. This is when I hiked the Y 2 times in one day, which, I mean, some people run up and down that thing a bunch of times every day and whatever, but 2 times in one day, that was a good one for me. It was also one of the times where I actually put myself on camera sleeping. I needed a nap, so I showed you guys that I sleep, and some of you watched that inexplicably. But anyway, that was a good day. It was a good hike.
I'm no Superman.
Today, and I found these Brooks trail running shoes.
Well, I'm awake at 4:14 in the morning. Not super happy about it, but
Body Glide is one of the greatest inventions that humankind has ever come up with. This stuff really works.
here's the view. We beat the sun, which is good, because I wanted to be sitting on this bench looking out there when the sun rises.
Showing video of me asleep.
Starting the evening hike, you can see the sun in the background. right there. If we go this way, that takes us to the bottom. If we go up there, it takes us to the top. Maybe there's a bear chasing that guy.
This sunset was way better than the sunrise. I enjoy watching this video.
Well, hiking the Y 2 times in one day seemed like a good idea. And now that I'm walking down, it is a good idea.
What did I learn from that? All kinds of things. I had those good shoes. I bought good hiking shoes. They were supposed to be trail running shoes, but they were perfect for hiking. And I also learned that, and again, I already knew this, but it was reiterated to me that hiking in the morning is much better than hiking in the evening or in the middle of the day when it's super hot outside. See, now, nobody watched the maze video. I had to wait like a month for this maze looking hat to show up at my doorstep before I made that video. I thought that video was some of my best work. It was interesting. It was educational. You could have, had you watched the maze video, you could have drawn your own maze. Could have started out easy, got more and more complicated as we go along. But it is by far my least viewed video. Again, I don't actually care about views. But I was surprised at how few people cared to watch it. Now, a few of you did try to draw a maze. And that was fun. That made me smile. I liked that. But generally, nobody even watched it. So enjoy some clips. One way or the other, I'm tricking you into watching how to draw a maze.
My eyes are getting weary.
A maze basically is going to be a network of paths designed as a puzzle through which one has to find a way. This is what we call a confidence building maze. You start here and you end there. Almost anyone could solve this. And there you have a challenging maze. We've got the start area, we've got the ending here. What did I learn? What did I learn from the doing the maze video? Well, at the time of filming this current video, what I learned is that only 29 people bothered to watch that sucker. Come on, we can do better than 29, can't we? Hey, this one was fun. Remember that? When I went to Lagoon? Yeah, hadn't been to Lagoon since high school. And kind of on a whim, I went here fairly recently. Whereas the maze video was the least viewed video to this point, the Lagoon video looks to be the most viewed so far from my channel.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
How much is he?
45.
45? Mm-hmm. I see 45 and the other one's 300.
You know, the government just takes all the fun out of everything. We just rode Cannibal. I can't do it. I got cold sweats, a little bit dizzy, a little lightheaded walking off there. Mandy's like, you gotta walk faster. And it was all I was doing was trying to stay upright. This is the mouse. It looks a lot like Goofy Sky School.
If you need assistance, please
Herky, jerky, and crazy. Here we go.
Hopefully they don't try to.
So yeah, they've been smashing us. He pushes that bar down and it hurts. See if he does it.
Surely he's
I'm barely in as it is. Oh, come on, man. That hurts.
Pull your lap bar down until it fits securely against your lap.
This dude right here, he got me.
Center bar.
Never again.
Here's some butter we're going to use. We're going to use this a little bit this morning. I learned two things, actually, from the Lagoon video. One of them is I cannot handle big, fast roller coasters. Golly, I got sick. When I go on a big ride like that, that's going to almost certainly end my day. So I learned that. And then the other thing I learned is people are a little, maybe defensive is the right word, about theme parks and what they like and what they don't like. I was just trying to share my experience. I wasn't trying to say that Lagoon was somehow better or worse than Disneyland or vice versa. This one doesn't have a hat. I wanted to make sure to highlight my running because it's taking up a massive part of my life. But there's no hat for it because I hate wearing a hat to run in. Just know that I'm training for a marathon.
All started with a big bang.
Here he comes. Oh, there he goes. One mile. Woo. All uphill. More to go.
Running is the ultimate teacher for a lot of things. I learned a lot of things from running, and right now, I mean, maybe the main thing I've learned is that running has taught me that I can do hard things. I used to hate running, and now I run a lot and enjoy it. I suppose the last one I will do, Bryce Canyon. Now, don't think that that's every video I've made. There are a few others. Fish Lake comes to mind. I went fishing at Fish Lake. That was awesome. But I wanted to just highlight a few of the videos, and Bryce Canyon, the Bryce Canyon hike is one of them. Now, I'm actually using the oven for its intended purpose. I made sure to get the hats out of there. Don't want to cook my hat. I'll just let that casserole go for, that's going to take a good like hour and a half. But Bryce Canyon was a good hike. Here we go. So I'm just walking along here, and this tree is growing right in the crack. My video's doing it justice. Those things are cool. Little skinny. What do you want? I learned that Bryce Canyon was named after a dude whose name was, his Christian given name was Ebenezer Bryce. And they called it Bryce's Canyon for a long time because apparently he discovered it. I don't think he made it. I think he figured it like he found it. And so then Bryce's Canyon, right? That's a little cumbersome. So then we started calling it Bryce Canyon. And then somewhere along the way, the federal government decided to make it a national park. And so that's where we are today. Now it's time to fry the honey bun. We're going to start out with a nice pat of butter in this nonstick pan. We're just going to let that butter melt all the way down. Then we're gonna go ahead and put the sticky bun right in that hot butter, and we're just gonna let it sit there and cook and cook and cook until that bottom side gets golden brown and delicious. This honey bun, this sticky, sizzling swirl of chaos, is actually a metaphor. Sometimes life gets stale. You could throw it away, or you could fry it in butter and make a clip show. I've obviously chosen the latter. There she is. Breakfast casserole. I think it's gonna be basically like lava. So I'm just gonna let that simmer for a bit. Looking back, I've realized one thing. I still have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to making YouTube videos. But I'm proud, not because these are the best videos on YouTube, even though they're close, but I'm proud because I made videos instead of just sitting around watching other videos. And don't get me wrong, I've done plenty of that, but I'm proud of myself for getting out there and doing something. Getting out there, trying some new stuff, trying to fend off boredom as best I can. So, here's to more adventures and less boredom, and to never wearing the same hat twice. Fried honey buns. Dang, that is really good.